show you one of these. I find this so cute. It's a maneki neko. And it moves. I don't know why it does it now. The little hand is supposed to go back and forth. I think because it's solar powered. Oh, there we go. It started doing it. It kind of paused for a minute. But I thought this made such good sounds. It's supposed to be, I guess, like a cherry blossom tree with some copper on it. And rose quartz. So I thought it was so cute. I think it's supposed to bring prosperity and abundance, good fortune. So I don't know. I wanted to start off showing something cute. This is my partner's new office, so we're just getting it set up. And you can actually hear the little clicks of it. It works best when you sit it down somewhere. That's when it waves its hand the most. But yeah, so I'm excited to join you guys for today's topic about my hair. Kind of a random subject to be talking about. I was a little hesitant to this video because I'm like, how am I going to fill at least 10 minutes talking about my hair? But yes, it's true. I've been cutting my own hair for 5 years. So before this begins, make sure you subscribe if you want more Storytime videos and check me out on Bomboni.com. I'm all caught up with your readings and I'm available today for personal readings. So, yes, links below, TonyBomboni.com, and use that coupon code Tony2 for 20% off, and make sure you sign up for my free newsletter. Thank you to everyone who used the Easter discount. I had a discount code for Easter, but you missed it if you didn't sign up for my newsletter, and this is why it's so important to sign up for the newsletter. Alright, guys. With that said, let's begin. Yes, so like I've been saying, the last 5 years I've been buzz cutting my hair. And one thing I can say that I've learned from cutting my own hair is how to cut my own hair. You know, pretty obvious. But I would say I was pretty skilled at it from the start because I had to. I all of a sudden had no choice. It was my hair and I'm cutting it. And so I was like a little nervous. I'm like, how am I going to do it? I didn't really learn from anywhere online. I just did it myself. So what I ended up doing, and this is how I cut my hair. I get those hair trimmers. I get the number 3 setting. Go all over my hair first with the number 3. Then with the number 2, I go on the sides and the back up until about here, right? All around up until about here. So I leave this on the top as a 3, right? Then I get a number 1 and I cut halfway around, all around, right up just above my ear. So it's like a fade from a long to short on the sides. And it comes out perfect every time. And on the back, I just take the protector off completely until it's just a blade. I get the mirror. I face it behind me. I face the handheld mirror in front of me, and I turn around so the mirror is behind me. And I look at the mirror through the handheld mirror, and I just shave down my neck with it. So that's how I do it. Nothing crazy. It's probably easier for women to cut their own hair because they don't have to do that, but yeah, you have to have a very steady hand to get like a straight line back there. And then after I do that, then I go back with the number 1 and just kind of go over it again so I can remove that extra little fuzz. And then of course I get the sideburns completely off with the number 1, so I don't have to like straighten it, but because I straighten it usually because I shave my face, so I end up straightening this with a line with the razor blade. So then I go over my eyebrows. I usually do this at the beginning with the number 3, and then I buzz them down because when I have buzz cut hair, thick eyebrows look kind of funny. So I buzz them down until they're like a shorter length. And then of course I tweeze around my eyebrows. So that's how I do it. Sometimes there'll be little like things that stick up here. So I make sure to go over with the number 2 and get those little loose hairs if I miss them. And then I turn around. I look all directions with the mirror. Make sure this is completely perfect round shape. Nothing's sticking out. No hair's missing. I look all in the back and the front. On the top I bend down and I look here. I make sure nothing looks crazy. So it takes a minute. It takes maybe legs, when it starts getting a little bit fuzzy and long, then I usually wear a cap to kind of lay it down. I like to maintain short hair because I absolutely hate having to wet my hair because it always sticks up here and here on the sides when I wake up. My hair is just, I'm trying to speak more loving words to my hair. I used to call it a mess all the time. I'm like, don't speak those words into existence, but I just do not like, I strongly despise, rebuke having to fix my hair before going out somewhere because I'm so, like, I don't really care that much about my appearance, but like, the hair has to be fixed before I step out. I'm just too ashamed. I can't be with like sticking up hair on the side looking like I just woke up, you know. I've never ever been seen like that outside of my home, ever, and I never will, I don't think. So, yeah, but that's just why I keep my hair short. I started cutting it ever since the lockdowns in 2020. Everything was closing down, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna cut my own hair for the first time. And I thought it's just gonna be a one-off. Maybe I'll do it twice. Depends how long this thing lasts, that global situation at the time, you know? But I kept going. I was like, I actually enjoy it. I'm saving money. I used to go get my hair dyed sometimes, so that with a haircut and wash would add up to upwards of $100. So I'm like, okay, if I'm spending this much every month to keep my platinum blonde hair, that's $1,200 a year, you know? Multiply that by 5, and you get $6,000. So I pretty much saved, let's say, with anywhere between a regular haircut and dyeing my hair once in a while, which is hard. I miss doing that. I saved around $4,000 to $6,000, you know, just cutting my own hair in the last 5 years. So that's enough to go on a really nice vacation for a week. You know, that's enough for a fat down payment on a nice car. Or, you know, so it just shows you the impact of how that money can be of good use. That's enough to, I don't know, buy some new furniture in your home. Probably. Although my new furniture, when I bought it was like way more than that. But anyway, I guess depends what you like, right? But, so, yeah, like I was saying, basically, I learned to cut my own hair. Another thing I learned is not to care so much about my appearance because, yeah, a lot of people always say, like, they like how I look when I first get my hair buzzed, and now it's a little fuzzy, but they say I look at my best when I first cut my hair, and then when it grows out a bit. So it's like, which one is it, you know? So I learned not to care so much about what people think in my appearance and to walk confidently and boldly, you know? Thankfully, I never had a problem with confidence when it comes to my hair in public. I never thought much of it. You know, I didn't think people were staring at me or giving me weird looks. Maybe I got a couple weird looks. Maybe it's just because of how I walk. I don't know. But, or my very, very skinny legs. But, yeah. I don't think much of it, really. I am who I am. I come as I come, you know. I am as I am. I am who I am. So, I am enough, you know. That's definitely an affirmation I'm working on in my self-love journey. I am enough. And I don't need all this hair. I don't, you know, I've had hair from like 3-4 inches long to completely short, like completely buzzed, short, like completely. So almost like bald, like completely short, you know. So to me, it doesn't matter how I look. That's the soul, is the heart of the person, how they look. So I kind of wanted to say like a middle finger to that, not that industry, but like beauty, but in a weird way, yeah, like we can live simple lives. We don't have to, you know, get our hair tips, our roots re-dyed every 4 to 6 weeks. as they say we should, we can rebel against that. We can be our own unique identity. We can live practically and simply, and we don't have to force ourselves. I even cut my brother's hair. Did you know that? Yeah, I've been cutting my brother's hair the last few years too. He does not go either. I just cut his hair. It is what it is, and especially since his eye issues, I'm like, it's the least I could do, and save him some money too, because he's going through it. But so it's just that simple. Really, it's nothing to it. The cleanup process is the crazy part, It's so much work to the fact that, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, go to your hair salon, support your hairstylists. It's not worth it to cut your own hair. I promise you, it's more work than reward. And they'll probably end up doing a better job than you can on yourself anyway. It's hard to have like a steady hand and to like really see all the details. But, if you're already good with your hands, artistic and creative, do it, give it a shot. At least try it once, Tell your hairstylist, hey, I'm going to try cutting my own hair for a week. For a month, and see how it goes. They may probably be like, no, bad idea. But try it, okay? Who cares? Just do what you feel is best, okay? At the end of the day, my mom used to cut my hair a lot of times growing up. I think many moms did when they were children. She even cut her own hair sometimes, dyed her own hair sometimes. You save a lot of money doing that. It adds up. People might think like, oh, it's just $50. Oh, it's just $100. But it really does add up at the end of the day. Men are lucky because they can get away with like $25 in and out. They got their hair cut, without the hair dye, of course. But yeah, it is nice. I do miss getting my hair shampooed and like a head scalp massage, or like sometimes oil put in it. So that always felt nice. So I'm probably gonna eventually treat myself. But another reason I did it was because since the lockdowns, I just wanted to shave my head in honor of all those who lost their lives in the last 5 years and have been horribly ill and still suffering with symptoms. Like for me, it actually, what it did to me when I first got it, it took away half my sense of smell, half my sense of taste, so I can no longer taste as much, which sucks. It really makes life dull as it is because I already have a specific diet I have to consume, which makes it even more boring. So, yeah, I taste pretty bland. I can't really taste a lot of things anymore. That might have something to do with my sinuses and how it's affected me, but yeah, I can barely smell things anymore. It has to be like right in my nose for me to smell it. Because I used to be always the person like, what's that smell? Why does that smell like that? I can't really smell much anymore. So yeah. And who knows what other damage it probably did to me, because I've had on and off health stuff for the last 4 years. So yeah, it's affected a lot of people, unfortunately. And so that was like in memory and honor even of family members, family friends who have passed on from it. So yeah, I decided to kind of continue, and I told myself I'm going to keep going until it stops, until it doesn't exist anymore, until it's no more, until it's completely gone. But I don't know if that's going to happen in this case. We'll see. But yeah, so I learned just those things. I can't really think of anything else I learned. Yeah, just how to cut my own hair, not to care about what people think of me or my appearance that much. Not to be so vain, because I used to always be like, oh, my hair has to be a certain way, swoop to this side. Oh, I need to re-dye my tips, or you know how much money I spent on my hair, stupidly. Oh, I didn't count the shampoos and the conditioners, the special treatments you have to use, staying out of the sun, wearing a hat all the time. I'm like, what's the point? If I'm in Florida, I have to wear a hat, and I can't show off my beautiful silver or platinum blonde hair. I've had red hair. I've had so many different. So I was even gonna do pink, believe it or not. But it's just too much, right? Like to the point where I even like cut like my face wash I used to use. I had like a face wash and moisturizer I'd always use. I cut that completely. I'm starting back on it because I'm noticing a lot of like dry flakiness on my eyebrows, and I realize I actually have to use that glycolic acid to kind of, you know, exfoliate my face so I don't get that flakiness. So unfortunately I do have to spend some money on that face wash again, that regimen. But so yeah, but it's just kind of crazy how things change. Like I never thought I'd be cutting my own hair, but here we are. So yeah, and of course through that I learned how to cut someone else's hair as well, my brother's hair, which was nice. So it made me feel more self-sufficient, that I could rely on myself, I can believe in myself, I could trust myself to get the job done. I don't have to just be lazy or rely on someone else. So there's that, although my former hairstylist was probably pretty pissed at me because I was going there frequently, but it is what it is, you know. We were all worried, sick, no pun intended, at the time. Exactly 5 years ago, actually, when we were in lockdown, April 2020. That we didn't want to catch something. We didn't know what it was. I think we were all like very freaked out at first. And I probably should have taken more precaution because, like, really and truly, the way it affected me, I kind of, in a weird way, have my, I don't want to say regrets, because, you know, eventually you're going to catch it somewhere anyway. Like, I mean, we were all, at the time, wearing masks on a plane, and it's still, you still got it, you know? It doesn't make sense, so, but whatever. But what I will say is that, I'm glad I got to experience that, and yeah, but other than that, I didn't really learn anything else. I didn't really get anything magical out of it. It didn't change my life magically. Nothing magically different started to happen. I would say life changed a lot since then, but whose hasn't, you know? It has no correlation, in my opinion, to cutting my own hair. So overall, if you decide to try it, I'm here to tell you it's worth it, and it's not at the same time. So give it a go if you feel drawn to. But I feel like it also shaped my identity. I wanted to be consistent with my looks. I didn't want to like keep changing my appearance. I was very much like crazy with always like switching it up and changing how I look, and I think that allowed that to kind of stop, you know, that I can just be me, bare, who I am, raw, who I am. I don't have to like appease to anyone or like, oh, I like how that guy's hair looks, I want it to look like that. You know, I never really understood that. Like, people like, what hairstyle do you look? I would go in the hair salon and feel stupid anyway. I look through the list of the book, you know, the list of hairstyles. I just would feel so lost. I'd be like, you know, just give me the hairstyle you think looks best on me. And they'd always give me the same simple look, you know. Short in the sides, hair swoop to this side because it swoops to the right when it's long. So I was tired. I didn't want to have to keep styling and doing that. And oh, how much I spent on hair gel. Oh, just, you know, I started getting grays more. I always had grays, but like since like a teenager, but like more with time. And then I would even dye it brown sometimes. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. If I buzz it, it gets rid of the grays. It's beautiful. It's like, all of a sudden it's not a problem anymore. It's remarkable. So I'm like, okay, that saves me money on hair, boxed hair dye, you know, like, yeah. And apparently buzzing your hair makes it grow back thicker. I think that is a lot of truth to it. I'm not sure if like continuously buzzing your hair damages it. It probably does. So I wouldn't recommend it if you want thick, luscious hair. Like, I mean, not thick, but like, you know, soft. It will be spiky, as you can hear. So it does feel itchy sometimes, you know. You gotta get a good conditioner. Sometimes it feels itchy, especially when you first cut it. It tingles and like it blows funny in the wind. So it's not for everyone. I recommend if you want women, try it sometimes. Nothing wrong with it. You know, if you want to grow your hair out, then donate it to cancer patients. That's beautiful as well. You can do that. You know, there's always something you can do different and rock a new look, you know. And you never know, some people have the head shape to rock that look. I'm glad I do. But yeah, So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick, brief story time about my hair. And let me know your journey with your hair, your experience. Love yourself no matter what. If you got, what's it called? Appalachia, whatever, rosacea, whatever it's called. I forgot the name of it. You know, whatever you struggle with. You can always slap a wig, you know. I used to do that too. I would rather just slap a wig on and look different for the day, have a different look every day than, you know, have to be bothered with my hair, you know. So as long as you wash it and take care of it, you know, you're gonna be just fine. So it's not worth it to be self-conscious. You can rock your natural hair. It's okay. I know a lot of black women have like insecurity with their hair too, and feel like it has to look a certain way. And you know, you whipped out that coconut oil, that castor oil. You do what works best for you, honey. Okay. So love yourself anyway. We're all different. We all look different. We're all shaped different. And just be you. You know. So that's what I learned from this process. So I might go another 5 years. Who knows? You never know. The only expense you have is just to replace your hair trimmer once every 2-3 years, really, until it goes bust. And yeah, make sure you wash your blades too, of course. And you gotta like lubricate the metal part a bit. That's the only annoying part. But yeah, that's alright. It's worked for me. Sometimes it gets jammed because my hair is so thick, so you gotta keep shaking it out when doing it. It's a bit annoying, but you get a wireless one. You spend the money on a wireless one. It works A-okay. Alright. Okay, guys. Take care now. Oh yeah, that's another thing I was gonna say. It's kind of hard to do it wearing glasses, so I kind of have to like get really close to the mirror to do it because I can't see from far very well. And that's another thing. I even stopped spending on contacts. Well, that was not my choice. My eye allergy did that. But so like there's a lot I cut back on in my life that I felt like I was spending way too much money on and unnecessary time on. I think that's normal with age too. Like you reevaluate your values and you're like, okay, this no longer aligns with me. I used to wear like big dolly eye contacts, and I wanted to have like 2 different pair of glasses so I could switch it up all the time. Like I was just doing the most, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I know I'm on YouTube. Oh, I used to even get my face washes in the spa. I did the lip plumping filler, lip gloss, makeup. Like I did so much. I cut back all of that. You know, it's so much money I saved. I promise you. Love yourself as you are. You're beautiful as you are. Okay. You don't have to worry about what people think. Even if you're an online personality, I always allowed the pressure that to pressurize me what people think. And you know how many opinions I got about my hair, like, oh, you should grow it out, you should stop cutting it. And then the people are like, oh, your hair's growing out, you need to cut it. Which one is it? You're never gonna make anyone happy. You can only make yourself happy, you know. So love you. People are like, oh, you should wear makeup, oh, you shouldn't wear makeup. Which one is it? Yeah. So pick and choose what works best for you, okay? Otherwise you're gonna literally feed into the insanity of everyone's opinion. Alright guys, take care. Bye bye.